My name is Bill Mundell, and I'm the producer of the documentary feature Better Angels.
China is in so many ways becoming what we sort of imagine ourselves to be. And for us in the United States, that's threatening.
China is a big country, 1.3 billion people. They have a fast-growing economy.
One, two, three!
They're embracing the American dream.
So what made you to produce this kind of documentary?
I wanted to make the American people and the Chinese people stakeholders in what is, without a doubt, the most important bilateral relationship in the world. Now, obviously, this relationship has reached a critical inflection point. And so there's no better time now to have an informed citizenry. And let me just state the obvious. The Chinese, on the whole, understand America better than America understands China. So one way to look at this film is as the opening salvo in an effort to close that gap. I made this movie, and I spent 5 years making this movie because I was worried about the U.S.-China relationship. I'm still worried about the U.S.-China relationship.
We're not yet enemy.
When we think about the one place that seems to be doing us better than we're doing us, it's them.
And they are the #2 economy in the world.
They're doing their own movies, they're setting up their own Hollywood system. They're embracing the American dream.
China is rapidly transforming with some 600 million consumers projected to come online in the next 5 to 10 years. Think about it. They will have a middle class that will be double the size of the entire United States.
They want cell phones, they want cars, they want everything we want. We convince them to drink our cocktail.
This is the exact wrong time to be picking a trade war with China. We produced over 800 hours of film over the last 5 years, and we shot in 4 continents. So we had a lot of, many stories. I think the criteria we use to narrow down the stories is that the characters themselves were dramatically compelling, emotionally compelling. And on top of it, they served to shatter a myth that Americans have about China or Chinese have about America. Let me give you an example. For example, most Americans don't truly understand the dark side of globalization, the downside of globalization for the Chinese people. We shot an entire sequence that really highlighted the family separation that is a big part of China's globalization, the first round of China's globalization. There are 60 million children in China, which is 20% of the child population of China, that grows up without a mother or a father as a result of this incredible miracle of lifting 600 million people out of extreme poverty. So I think the average American doesn't understand that there was a real cost associated with achieving the success that China has today, and they don't understand this aspect. And it's not well reported in the mainstream media.
So if it has to pick up one character, which one is your favorite?
Well, I pick the character that we discovered completely by accident, which is Mr. Li, who is the abacus master. I had lunch in Shanghai with a friend, and he brought along this abacus master. And I was really intrigued by the story, and I asked myself the question, what happens if you bring this kind of philosophy of teaching math over to very poor and underdeveloped areas in the United States? And that's exactly what we did. We brought Mr. Li to South Central Los Angeles, and I think it's one of the best sequences and shows really the power of cross-cultural cooperation.
If we are to clash, it would be a disaster for the whole world.
The rise of China doesn't have to coincide with the fall of the United States. These two great powers should be rising together.